Hello guys, I'm Joaquin, I'm from Venezuela. In this video, I wanna talk about the situation in my country. Sadly, it's a real crisis in Venezuela today. Things are getting worse in all domains, not only political, but also social and economical ambit. So I'm not going to talk too much because I prefer to show you everything with evidence.
They came in their thousands, streaming across the border, desperate to buy basic food and medicine in the 12 hours they were given. For many suffering under the weight of Venezuela's food shortages, it was a lifeline.
I came here to buy rice, sugar, milk, medicine and anything else we can get because we already don't have anything to eat. We're starving.
They gave us a free pass through the border and we're taking advantage of it. Thank God, because the situation is critical. People from all over came today.
Since oil prices plummeted, Venezuela, which exports little else, has found itself with a huge hole in its budget and has been unable to feed its people. Queuing often for hours is the norm, only to find that there is little available to buy when they reach the top of the line. This border opening comes days after hundreds of Venezuelan women, frustrated by the dire situation, broke through controls in search of food. Many others have been crossing over illegally as well. Venezuelans normally need special permits to enter Colombia, a measure introduced to clamp down on cross-border crime. But with the situation so critical, there are now plans to try and permanently open the borders, offering some lasting reprieve in this deep crisis. Regid Ahmed, BBC News.
The streets of Caracas have resembled a war zone. Thousands of anti-government protesters met with water cannons and armed security forces. Buildings scarred with bullet holes. These protests began last week when students organized against rising crime, food shortages, and high inflation. At more than 56%, Venezuela has one of the highest inflation rates in the world.
We are here because we hope we can have enough goods, supplies, and a safe environment to live in. We also expect quality education.
President Nicolas Maduro met the opposition with a rally of his own and is not backing down.
I will continue in power because the people are in power. On this Constitution, I swear. I swear and I will swear. Nothing will take me off the road of building the Bolivarian revolution that Hugo Chavez left us.
Maduro has the media on a tight leash. The Maduro government threatened legal action for what it called media manipulation against Venezuela and attacks on VTV, the government-run television station. And they issued an arrest warrant for protest organizer Leopoldo Lopez, which only caused the protests to intensify further.
We won't stop the demonstrations until the government issues an order to disarm the pro-government militias. We've had enough of going out in the streets full of fears in our own country. We want to enjoy a safe environment in Venezuela.
¿Cuál es la misión de los Tupamaros?
Nuestro objetivo, bueno, es desarrollar la lucha por la liberación de los pueblos, la lucha en cualquiera de los terrenos donde se nos plantee, siempre y cuando las condiciones concretas del pueblo así lo exijan.
Hours later, the nation's leader launched a new plan for peace on state television. President Nicolas Maduro blames the violence on the opposition, who he says is trying to overthrow his government.
No more intolerance and hate. We need to learn to live together. I call on the opposition to stop their hatred.
Earlier in the day, friends, family, and neighbors turned out to say goodbye to Basil da Costa, a 23-year-old carpenter who was shot in the head on Wednesday during a peaceful protest. 3 people were killed. The government says it's investigating the killings, but Basil's mother blames the president.
As a Venezuelan, I am frustrated and devastated. The president has kids, and I hope he feels the same pain as many Venezuelan mothers who have lost their sons like I have.
Leaders of the opposition say they want to seize on what they feel is a growing momentum and plan to call for more protests in the coming days.
So what are our weapons? Our weapons are our values, our ideals, our voices. And that's precisely what we need to organize, because that's very powerful.
But without the support of the military, it's unlikely that these growing demonstrations will overthrow the government. But as Venezuela becomes more polarized and both sides blame each other for the violence, many here fear that calm won't be restored soon enough.
I think just coming out of the airport and being told by, we actually were met by some people that we knew, and them telling us that this is the most dangerous areas just walking out of the airport. And then we found out after we left that just a few hours earlier a man was killed. They attempted to rob or kidnap him, and then he was killed. That was just our initial. Of course we had to change money inside the airport, because to get the amount of hyperinflation here is actually just unbelievable. You need a backpack full of money to buy a dinner. And then once we got into town, it was just crazy story after crazy story of, and we're just seeing the lineups. This is a true country in collapse. This is a hyperinflation and socialism reaching its ultimate end.
This is a true economic Armageddon. Venezuela is in a state of emergency right now. Its currency has been devalued 92% since the last 2 years alone. And the things we have been experiencing here, I mean, I grew up in Brooklyn in the 90s. I saw people shot, I saw people stabbed, my friends got killed. I went through all that, but what I've experienced here is far more than I thought I would ever see anywhere in the world. And it's like the criminality is brought on by the government as a way to control the people. Like, we were driving by and our fixer showed us this huge building, and he was like, yeah, this is a building, a skyscraper that's being run by a criminal organization. There's people squatting in there, and this is where all the kidnapping happens.
So guys, this is the situation in my country. As you see, it's miserable. I really appreciate if you share this video to let the message arrive to everybody around the world. Please pray for Venezuela, and don't forget to subscribe and like.